What if I told you that everything you believe about money is a lie? That the way most people chase wealth is actually a trap, built to keep you stuck in a cycle of never-ending struggle? Think about. But somehow, no matter how much you earn, it always feels like the money slips through your fingers. You're exhausted, frustrated, questioning if there's any real way out. Maybe you've felt that gnawing sense that the game is rigged, that wealth is reserved for the few and the rest are just pawns in a bigger unseen chessboard. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Most people walk through life believing that wealth is about working harder, saving more, or playing by the rules. But what if I told you it's not about the effort you put in? What if the real game of money is about understanding the secrets that the powerful have known for centuries? Secrets that can flip your entire reality upside down. Imagine a different perspective, one rooted in ancient wisdom, in Machiavelli's lessons on wealth and power. These lessons aren't just dusty old philosophies, they're tools, weapons, keys to unlocking financial freedom in a world that desperately keeps most people in the dark. The truth is, money isn't just about earning or saving. It's about mastering a system designed to be understood, manipulated, and ultimately controlled by those who know its rules. And here's the kicker. You don't have to be born into wealth or have special connections to beat the system. You just need to see it for what it really is, and that's what this video is about. We're going to peel back the layers, uncover the hidden lessons Machiavelli left behind, lessons that could change your life forever. So if you've ever felt like the world is rigged against you, if you've ever wondered why the rich get richer while you struggle just to make ends meet, stay with me, because what I'm about to share might just be the game changer you've been waiting for. If this topic has made you think, if it's stirred something deep inside you, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel now. Because here, we don't just talk about money, we explore the truths no one else dares to reveal. And trust me, the knowledge you'll gain could be the difference between living in scarcity or stepping into true wealth and power. Don't miss out. The real game starts now. Have you ever felt like you're trapped in an endless struggle, as if no matter how hard you try, the walls just keep closing in? You work tirelessly, sacrificing your time, your energy, your peace of mind, all for a future that seems just out of reach. Every month, the same cycle repeats. Bills pile up, savings vanish, and the dream of financial freedom slips further away. And deep down, you wonder if this is all there is. That the system is designed to keep you in a constant state of scarcity, no matter how much effort you put in. It's a crushing weight, this feeling of being caught in a vicious cycle, where the harder you fight, the more exhausted you become, and yet, the results remain elusive. You wake up every day with a knot in your stomach, a silent voice whispering that maybe you're just not meant to break free, that this struggle is your destiny. You look around and see others seemingly succeeding, thriving, with no apparent effort, and it fuels your frustration. You ask yourself, why not me? Or, what am I doing wrong? But the answers never come. Instead, you're left with more questions, more doubts, more fears that you'll never escape this trap. The emotional pain gnaws at your confidence, eroding your hope little by little, making you feel powerless and insignificant. You start to believe that maybe it's not supposed to be different, that this is just how life is, and you're destined to keep fighting a losing battle. The internal conflict intensifies, pulling you between the desire for change and the overwhelming sense of helplessness. You're caught in a storm of frustration, disappointment, and exhaustion, feeling like a hamster running on a wheel, going nowhere, exhausting yourself for nothing. You see the world around you moving forward, wealth and success seeming to come effortlessly for others, while you're stuck in this endless cycle of struggle, stress, and despair. And the worst part? You wonder if it's even worth fighting anymore. If maybe this is just your fate, to struggle, to suffer, to never truly break free. It's a heavy, suffocating feeling. This realization that you might be trapped in a system that doesn't care about your dreams or your pain, one that keeps you in the dark while the powerful continue to manipulate the game. And as the days go by, the weight of this truth becomes almost unbearable. A silent scream inside that no one hears. As you reach for your phone, the same notifications flood your screen. Bills, reminders of overdue payments, alerts about expenses you can't avoid. You sit on the edge of your bed, eyes staring blankly at the ceiling, wondering how it all became so overwhelming. It's as if life is pushing you further into a corner, and no matter how hard you try, you can't escape it. Throughout the day, that quiet anxiety lingers, whispering in the back of your mind. You find yourself checking your bank account obsessively, hoping for some unexpected miracle, but all you see are numbers that seem to shrink as fast as they appear. You cut back on your spending, avoiding social outings, telling yourself this is just temporary, that soon things will improve, but deep down, you know it's not just temporary. It's a cycle you can't break. You carry that burden into your relationships, feeling guilty for not being able to provide or contribute more. Conversations with loved ones often turn into arguments or awkward silences because you're tired of pretending everything's fine. You hide your frustration behind a forced smile, but inside, you're breaking. The shame and helplessness build up like a storm inside you, yet you keep it bottled up, pretending everything is under control. When night falls, your mind races with doubts and fears. You replay your failures, missed opportunities, poor decisions, moments when you felt powerless. You think about the future, and a cold wave of anxiety washes over you. Will it ever get better? Will you always be stuck in this cycle of scarcity? You wonder if others see you as a failure, if they notice your struggles, or if they're just pretending not to see. You feel trapped in a prison of your own making. The more you try to push forward, the more the walls seem to close in. The dreams of financial freedom, of a better life, seem so distant now that they almost feel like illusions. Every effort you make feels like fighting a losing battle, as if the system itself is designed to keep you exactly where you are, struggling, exhausted, and powerless. That silent pain, so familiar it's become part of your everyday life, gnaws at your confidence. It drains your energy, sapping your motivation. You carry this weight everywhere you go, in every moment of your day, and it's beginning to feel like a part of who you are. The frustration, the helplessness, the quiet despair, they're all intertwined, creating a suffocating sense of emotional claustrophobia. You're not just tired physically, you're exhausted emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And yet, beneath all of that, there's a small, persistent voice asking, is this really all there is? Is this truly my destiny? Or is this pain just a reflection of something deeper, something I haven't yet understood? The truth is, you are living in a cage, and that cage is built from the illusions of the system, from the lies you've been told about what it takes to succeed. But right now, all you feel is the weight of your silent suffering, pressing down, making every breath harder than the last. Because what if your suffering isn't just about the circumstances around you, but about how you perceive and respond to them? What if the real battle isn't outside, but within your mind? This is the essence of a powerful psychological concept. Your perception shapes your reality. It's a truth that most people overlook, yet it holds the key to understanding why you feel trapped in this endless cycle of struggle. You see, your feelings of frustration, anxiety, and helplessness aren't just random. They stem from the stories you tell yourself about your life, your worth, and your ability to change your circumstances. These stories are like filters through which you interpret the world. If you believe that success is only for the lucky or privileged, then every effort you make feels futile. If you see yourself as powerless against the system, then you accept your suffering as inevitable. But what if this perception is an illusion? What if, deep down, you have the power to change not just your situation, but how you perceive it? This concept suggests that your reality is a reflection of your inner beliefs. It's as if your mind creates a lens through which you view the world, and that lens can either obscure opportunities or reveal paths to freedom and wealth. The problem is, most of us are conditioned to see ourselves as victims of circumstances, of society, of the system. And so we accept our suffering as normal, as unavoidable. But what if your suffering is a choice? What if your perception is the only barrier between you and a different life? Think about it. How many times have you felt defeated before even trying? How often do you tell yourself, I can't, it's too late, or I'm not enough? These are stories, beliefs that have been ingrained over years, reinforced by society, family, and your own fears. They act like chains, binding you to a limited version of reality. But here's the truth. No one is truly powerless unless they believe they are. Your mind has the capacity to reshape these stories, to challenge the illusions that keep you stuck. Ask yourself now, what stories am I holding on to that keep me feeling small? How much of my pain is caused by my own perception? What if I could see my situation differently? Could I then act differently? Could I break free from this cycle of scarcity and frustration? These questions aren't easy. They force you to confront your inner beliefs and acknowledge the role your mind plays in your suffering. The stage is set for a deeper exploration, because understanding this psychological power is the first step. It's the foundation upon which you can build a new reality, one where your perception becomes your greatest tool for transformation. The question is, are you ready to challenge what you believe about yourself and your life? Because the truth is, the key to wealth and freedom might just be hidden in how you see the world, and, more importantly, how you choose to see yourself within it. This is not a sign of weakness or failure. It's a reflection of an old, ingrained psychological pattern that keeps you trapped in a cycle of scarcity and limitation. Once you recognize this, you begin to see that your struggles are not random or solely external. They are manifestations of your internal worldview. Think about your daily routine. Maybe you wake up each morning feeling a little anxious about bills or expenses despite earning a decent income. That anxiety isn't just about numbers. It's a reflection of a story you've told yourself repeatedly, that there's never enough, that wealth is elusive, or that prosperity is reserved for others. This subconscious belief influences how you handle your money, leading you to save excessively, avoid investments, or spend impulsively to soothe that persistent feeling of scarcity. These behaviors aren't random. They are direct expressions of a mental pattern rooted in fear and limitation. Or consider the moments when opportunities arise. Perhaps a chance to take a new project at work or invest in something promising. Instead of embracing these moments with confidence, you might hesitate, overanalyze, or talk yourself out of taking the risk. That hesitation is not a sign of incapacity. It's a symptom of a deep-seated belief that you are not enough or that success is dangerous or out of reach. You might find yourself rationalizing why now isn't the right time, even when the opportunity is clear. This pattern keeps you in a comfort zone defined by doubt and self-imposed limitations, a zone where scarcity feels safer than abundance. And then there are the relationships you have with money. Perhaps you associate it with security, shame, or even guilt. Maybe you're secretly afraid of having too much because it might change how others see you, or because you believe wealth comes with corruption or loneliness. These beliefs shape how you behave around money, making you sabotage opportunities or reject prosperity altogether. They are not truths. They are stories you've accepted unconsciously, stories that keep you stuck in a mental prison of scarcity. It's crucial to understand that these behaviors aren't a reflection of your true self or your worth. They are the result of old unconscious patterns, stories you've been told or internalized long ago, that continue to run in the background. You are not weak or incapable. You are simply caught in a loop of outdated perceptions that shape your actions and reinforce your limitations. Recognizing this is the first step toward breaking free. You have the power to rewrite those stories, to challenge the beliefs that keep you small, and to start seeing yourself and money in a new light. It's time to realize that your current reality is a mirror of your subconscious programming. And with awareness, you can begin to transform it, opening the door to a new way of thinking, feeling, and ultimately, living. Now, let's explore how this understanding can be a catalyst for real change in your life, paving the way for a future where wealth is no longer an elusive dream, but a natural expression of your new mindset. It's the feeling that no matter how hard you try, You're somehow destined to struggle, to chase after something just out of reach, to live with a constant fear of scarcity. This isn't just about lack of resources. It's about the inner landscape you carry, an unspoken narrative that shapes your reality without you even realizing it. And the truth is, these stories, these deeply rooted beliefs, are the invisible chains that keep you from stepping into the prosperity you deserve. Now, ask yourself, how much of your current life is a reflection of those old stories? How often do you find yourself hesitating, sabotaging opportunities, or feeling unworthy of abundance? These reactions aren't accidents. They're echoes of a subconscious script written long ago. It's as if your mind is wired to maintain the status quo, even if that status quo is hardship. And inside this mental prison, you carry a quiet, persistent question. Am I enough? Am I deserving of prosperity? Or am I doomed to live in lack, simply because that's what I've been told or internalized over the years? This is where the pain becomes more than just financial. It becomes emotional, psychological. It's the feeling of being trapped in a cycle you don't fully understand, yet one that feels impossible to escape. You might feel frustration, guilt, or shame for wanting more, for dreaming of a different life. But these feelings are not failures. They are signals, signs that your internal narrative needs rewriting. Because beneath the fear and scarcity lies a truth that many refuse to see. Your beliefs about money are not fixed. They can be reshaped, reprogrammed, but only if you recognize them first. And here's the deep, raw question. How long will you keep living under the weight of stories that aren't even yours? How long will you let old fears dictate your future when the power to change your story lies entirely within your grasp? You have the ability to rewrite your internal script, to challenge the beliefs that keep you small, and to step into a new reality, one rooted in confidence, worthiness, and abundance. But that requires courage. Courage to face the truth of what you've been carrying and to question whether those stories are truly yours or just echoes from someone else's fears. Now, the question is, how long are you going to continue living like this? How much more of your life will you surrender to the stories of scarcity instead of claiming the wealth that's waiting for you? This isn't just about money. It's about reclaiming your power, your worth, and your future. It's about finally choosing to see yourself not as a victim of circumstance, but as the author of your own story. I invite you to reflect on this. Share your thoughts, your feelings. What stories are you ready to challenge? What truths are you prepared to rewrite? Your voice matters. Your story matters. Because the moment you start questioning, you start transforming. Every day you find yourself in small social interactions that subtly reveal the invisible chains of your relationship with money. It might be when you're at work, hesitating to ask for a raise because deep down you feel unworthy or afraid of being seen as greedy. Or perhaps during a dinner with friends, you avoid discussing your financial situation, feeling ashamed or guilty, as if your success might seem boastful or undeserved. These moments seem insignificant on the surface, but they carry an emotional weight that quietly chips away at your confidence and sense of abundance. Imagine walking into a store, eyeing that item you've wanted for weeks. You reach out, but then pull back, questioning whether you deserve it, whether it's right to indulge yourself. You find yourself silently negotiating with your inner voice, which whispers stories of scarcity and fear. Stories planted in childhood telling you that comfort and prosperity are reserved for others, not for you. That small hesitation, that internal dialogue, reinforces a sense of unworthiness, making you feel guilty for even considering spending on yourself. And when you do buy something, it's often with a lingering feeling of guilt or doubt, as if you've committed a small betrayal against your own potential for abundance. In social settings, you might notice how you subtly diminish your achievements or hide your financial successes, fearing judgment or envy. You downplay your salary increase or the extra money you earned from a side project, convinced that admitting to prosperity might make others uncomfortable or reveal your greed. These behaviors, born from internal stories of scarcity and shame, keep you trapped in a cycle of feeling small and undeserving. You might even sabotage your own progress by avoiding opportunities for growth, convincing yourself that you're not cut out for more, that this is just how it is. All these tiny moments accumulate, creating an emotional landscape of dissatisfaction, frustration, and emptiness. You feel the weight of unspoken limitations pressing down on you, as if the life you long for is just out of reach, locked behind an invisible barrier of old beliefs and fears. There's a deep ache in knowing that your struggles with money aren't just about numbers. They are about your worth, your identity, and your sense of security. And yet beneath it all, you sense that this cycle isn't fixed. It's a prison you can learn to unlock, if only you find the courage to confront these silent stories and rewrite your inner narrative. Or perhaps you've experienced moments where money has become a silent barrier, an unspoken tension that casts a shadow over your intimacy. These small, almost invisible patterns chip away at the foundation of trust and vulnerability, reinforcing the idea that your worth is tied to how much you earn or spend. In relationships, many of us unconsciously neglect our emotional needs around money. We avoid discussing it openly, believing that it's a topic reserved for conflict or discomfort. We hide our financial struggles, fearing judgment or rejection, which only deepens the sense of shame and disconnection. For example, you might feel a pang of guilt every time you make a purchase for yourself, an outfit, a night out, questioning whether you deserve it. Or you might suppress your desire for financial independence, convincing yourself that your partner's income should suffice, even if it leaves you feeling unfulfilled or invisible. These acts of self-neglect silently tell your partner that your needs aren't important, creating a cycle where emotional intimacy is replaced by financial silence. This pattern extends beyond the individual to the relationship as a whole. When money becomes a taboo subject, it fosters a culture of avoidance and emotional distance. You stop sharing your fears and aspirations, and instead bury them beneath layers of silence. Over time, this erodes trust and deepens feelings of inadequacy. You may start to believe that your value is measured solely by your financial contributions, or worse, that you're not enough unless you achieve a certain level of wealth. The emotional self-neglect, ignoring your own needs, hiding your true feelings, becomes a barrier to genuine connection. Now ask yourself, how long will you continue to sacrifice your emotional well-being for the illusion of financial stability? How much more pain will you endure by pretending everything is fine when deep inside you feel unseen and unheard? The truth is, your worth isn't determined by the zeros in your bank account. Your value lies in your honesty, vulnerability, and willingness to confront your fears. It's time to break the silence, to openly share your financial dreams and insecurities with your partner, because true intimacy is built on trust. Trust that you're enough just as you are, regardless of your financial situation. And if not now, then when will you finally allow yourself to be truly seen? When we suppress feelings of scarcity, shame, or inadequacy about money, those emotions don't just stay bottled up inside. They manifest physically. You might notice headaches creeping in after a tense conversation about bills, or your stomach clenches when you realize there's not enough to cover an unexpected expense. These are signs your body is begging for emotional boundaries, for you to acknowledge and honor your feelings instead of pushing them aside. Many people ignore the subtle signals their body sends: tight shoulders from stress, fatigue that won't go away, or a racing heart when contemplating financial worries. These are psychosomatic symptoms, physical manifestations of unresolved emotional tension. For example, a woman who constantly feels anxious about her spending habits might develop frequent migraines. A man overwhelmed by financial insecurity may experience chest tightness or chest pains, often mistaken for cardiac issues. These symptoms are not random. They are your body's way of telling you that your emotional world is out of balance. When emotions are poorly managed, when shame, guilt, or fear are ignored, they accumulate, creating a pressure that eventually erupts in physical discomfort. Your body is desperately pleading for you to set boundaries, emotional boundaries that allow you to feel safe expressing your financial fears, hopes, and dreams without judgment. Ignoring these signals can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression. The constant tension affects your immune system, making you more vulnerable to illness and can lead to insomnia, weight fluctuations, and chronic fatigue. These symptoms are not just part of life, but wake-up calls, urging you to pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you dismissed that persistent tension in your shoulders as just stress? How often do you ignore that sinking feeling in your stomach when thinking about money? These are signs that you're already overwhelmed, that your emotional health is fragile, and that your body is begging you to create space for your feelings. If you continue to overlook these signals, the physical toll will only intensify, trapping you in a cycle of pain and silent suffering. Your body is crying out for relief. Don't wait until it's too late. Listen now and give yourself permission to feel, to heal, and to set the boundaries your body is desperately asking for. You find yourself saying yes to demands from friends, family, colleagues, even strangers, just to keep the peace. But each time you give in, it's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. The more you stretch yourself thin, the more others seem to expect from you, as if your generosity is an endless supply. And somehow, your own needs become invisible in this endless cycle of giving. Over time, this pattern wears you down. You feel physically exhausted. Your muscles tense without reason. Your head pounds with unspoken worries. Your energy wanes before the day even begins. It's not just mental fatigue, it's a physical drain that seeps into your bones. Every request, every plea from someone else feels like another brick added to a wall of emotional overload. You want to say no to take a breath, but the guilt or fear of rejection keeps you silent. You tell yourself it's just one more favor, one more compromise, and then you'll catch up on your own needs. But that moment never arrives. Instead, it's as if you're running on empty, yet still being asked to go further. Month after month, this cycle intensifies. The demands multiply, more responsibilities, more sacrifices, more emotional labor. The exhaustion morphs into a dull ache that settles deep within your chest, making every movement feel heavier. Sleep becomes restless. Dreams are haunted by the constant feeling of being overwhelmed. Your body begins to whisper warnings through symptoms. Headaches, muscle tension, fatigue that no amount of rest seems to fix. You notice yourself snapping at loved ones, feeling irritable and disconnected, yet unable to break free from the cycle. It's a relentless spiral, each act of compliance feeding the next wave of demands, each exhaustion fueling the belief that you must keep going. And so the cycle persists, month after month, year after year, dragging you further from your own sense of peace. Have you ever wondered, how long can you keep giving without losing yourself? It's a way of telling yourself, I deserve change. I am worthy of peace and abundance. When you like this video, you're not only helping it reach more people who need this message, but you're also affirming your commitment to transform your life. Remember, change begins with a single step, and that step can be as simple as a click today. Together, we can create a ripple effect of empowerment, inspiring others to face their fears, confront their inner stories, and reclaim their emotional and financial well-being. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored. You've felt the weight of emotional pain, those endless demands, the guilt, the fear of rejection that drain your energy and cloud your mind. We've delved into the deep philosophical and psychological lessons of Machiavelli, revealing how power, control, and understanding your true worth are essential in mastering wealth. Not just money, but the wealth of peace and self-love. You've seen how these internal battles manifest physically, headaches, tension, fatigue, and how repeating this cycle of overextension keeps you stuck. The emotional repetition keeps you trapped in a pattern of silent suffering, where your body screams for attention, but your mind dismisses it. This cycle of exhaustion, guilt, and unfulfilled desire can seem unbreakable, but it's not. You have the power within to rewrite your story. This moment is your turning point. Think of this as a call to awakening, a chance to step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of possibility. You are not your pain, your fears, or your limiting beliefs. You are a resilient soul capable of profound transformation. And the first step begins with a decision to honor your emotional needs, to set boundaries, and to embrace vulnerability as your greatest strength. Remember, true wealth is rooted in inner peace, and that peace is within your reach. Your journey toward emotional freedom and financial mastery starts now. Be brave, choose hope, and know you are already on the path to a brighter, more abundant life. Like this video if you feel a spark of hope igniting inside you right now. Because the truth is, no matter how tangled your financial and emotional struggles seem, there is always a way forward, a path to transform your reality and reclaim your power. You are not your past mistakes or your current circumstances. You hold within you the incredible capacity to change, to grow beyond limitations, and to rewrite your story. The lessons of Machiavelli remind us that wealth isn't just about money. It's about mastery over ourselves, our choices, and our mindset. Today, you stand at the threshold of a new beginning, one where you can break free from the cycle of fear, scarcity, and doubt. Real change is possible because you are not alone in this journey. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to learn, to grow stronger, and to redefine what success truly means for you. It's about shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's possible. Your circumstances do not define your worth or your future. Instead, your decisions, your courage, and your willingness to embrace vulnerability will shape the life you deserve. This moment, right now, is a gift, a chance to step into your power and choose a different path. Believe that your dreams are valid, and trust that with persistence, clarity, and heart-centered action, you can create a life of abundance, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. You are capable of extraordinary transformation. The only thing standing between you and your best life is the decision to begin. So, take that step today. Embrace the possibility of a brighter future. Remember, your journey is unique, and your power to change is greater than any challenge. Keep moving forward with hope, knowing that your new story starts now. And in the next chapter, we will explore how to harness this power and turn your visions into reality. This is your time. Claim it. The lessons from Machiavelli show us that true wealth lies within, inside your ability to master yourself, to decide courageously, and to believe in your potential, even in the face of challenges. This journey of change begins with one decisive step, your decision to believe in your strength and to act. Now, it's your turn to take that step. You have the power to reshape your future, to turn obstacles into opportunities, and to create a life filled with purpose, resilience, and hope. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to this channel now, to turn on notifications so you won't miss the next insights that will deepen your transformation. And most importantly, watch the next video I have prepared for you, because it's the next vital step in your journey to emotional and financial mastery. This is your moment to decide. Will you remain where you are, or will you rise and claim the life you deserve? The choice is yours, and your potential is greater than any challenge. Take that first step today, because your future is waiting to be rewritten. Believe in yourself, act with courage, and remember, your transformation begins now.